Now on CoastTV News.
Teen charged in massive wildfire, what we're learning about the Garden State blaze. Parking price debate talks continue in Fenwick Island as the start of the paid parking season is right around the corner. Spring Fest in full swing, a look at day one of the festivities in Ocean City and the dollars it brings in for vendors.
The weekend's on a dry and mild note for Delmarva, then showers likely for Saturday, improving conditions Sunday and cooler. Complete forecast details coming up.
This is CoastTV News Today.
Good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. Matt Pensick has the day off, and thank you for joining us for our 6 o'clock hour on this Friday morning. And first Alert meteorologist Bob Trey, he was just telling me he has some exciting Friday afternoon plans of lawn work. Well, Bob, what you've been saying, you'll have a good forecast for that.
Yeah, I'm taking a page out of Matt Pensick's book. He was out working on the lawn a couple of days ago, so I'm like, well, it's time for me. So this afternoon, cutting the grass, edging, all that stuff, and it's going to be a great afternoon to do that. It's just a chilly start out the door this morning with mid-40s in Salisbury, 45 there, Millsboro 46, the same for Red, and 50 in Milton, 55 Indian River Inlet, and 55 in Rehoboth right now. Right now the winds are calm, but you see the arrows pointing out of the south, and that's telling us that, well, it's going to warm up as we go through today. Right now, it's just high wispy clouds, so if you're out and about, it's a little hazy, but all in all, good visibility, good commuting weather for this morning. From Mid-Atlantic all the way down to the Carolinas and New York, we're in good shape now, but there are clouds and showers back to the west, and eventually this will be moving in, but not till late tonight. So we're good today, 40s and 50s out the door. Here's Futurecast at 9, warming into the 60s away from the coast at some of those high wispy clouds, and then a nice warm up by noon, mid to upper 70s, 50s, and 60s at the beaches, close to 80, I think, west of 113 this afternoon, but a little cooler at the coast, so a bit of a temperature gradient, and then even cooler as you go into this evening as that onshore flow begins to strengthen. Drivecasts this morning are in good shape, dry roads, maybe just warm up the car a little bit. It's a little chilly out there. Otherwise, I gave the green light, and the green light for the afternoon and evening commute, mild and breezy.
Thank you, Bob. We have an update on the devastating wildfire in New Jersey. A teenager is accused of starting that wildfire that has scorched more than 15,000 acres. Jason Kling is charged with arson. Investigators say the 19-year-old set wooden pallets on fire and left that area before those flames were fully out. The Jones Road fire has burned more than 15,000 acres, resulting in roughly 5,000 evacuations. And today marks 4 years since Delmar Police Corporal Heacook was killed in the line of duty. It happened while he was responding to a fight in progress. He was beaten and taken to shock trauma in Baltimore with significant head injuries. Ultimately, he was taken off of life support, and the man convicted of killing him, Randon Wilkerson, was sentenced to multiple life sentences in 2023. It's important to note that the Delaware Supreme Court has denied an appeal for Wilkerson. Now Heacook Fest is held in April every year to honor the life of the fallen officer.
Heath loved everybody. He always ran into danger, not away from it. And that laugh is one thing we'll all never forget.
And Heacook Fest features live music, fun activities, and raises money for nonprofits Operation We Care and Behind the Lines. It takes place today at 5 p.m. in Delmar. And happening today in Fenwick Island, discussion and possible action on parking rates in the town. This is taking place at this morning's town council meeting. According to the agenda, officials will review hourly and daily rates. The Finance Committee has been discussing a proposal to decrease their seasonal pass prices for certain businesses. This is to help employees park closer to where they work. Council members will gather at 11 a.m. And town officials will also gather in Bethany Beach. According to the agenda, a vote to approve the purchase of a new vehicle for the police department could take place. Also, officials are considering allowing exercise classes on the beach during the summer season. And there will be a special election on May 24th. Voters will decide whether or not to borrow money for the construction of a new water clarifier. And happening today in Dewey Beach, an expected groundbreaking for the town's new council building. Officials say the new building will be 3 stories with 3 different departments on each floor, including Dewey's police force, Sussex County EMS, and all of the town's meetings. It will be just a few feet away from the current town hall, and the EMS garage will fill the old town hall location. People we spoke with in Dewey and the town manager say EMS coming to the town is going to be a game changer.
Public safety, and part of that is having the EMS Sussex County paramedics in this project stationed here in Dewey Beach instead of all the way out on Plantation Road at Midway. Response time would be cut down dramatically during the summer.
I think it's important to have them locally everywhere. Like, just because emergencies are emergencies, they shouldn't take forever.
Dewey says between the state and county, they are getting $5 million in grants, and the town has over $2 million in reserves, which would go towards that project. Zolper tells us that people who live in the town will not have to contribute to the future building. And this just in, Delawareans who work with marijuana now have to undergo background checks. This after Governor Matt Meyer has signed House Bill 110 into law. According to the bill, this includes people who want to work in, own, or help operate a licensed marijuana business. Governor Meyer says with the new law, Delaware will align with federal standards. And happening now, this year's Spring Fest is open for business in Ocean City. The large crowds of people mean one thing for many of the food vendors: long lines and hungry customers, which leads to plenty of action in front of the grill. And one food truck owner says the festival's popularity, the good weather, and live music create the perfect combination for a busy and successful day.
It's a roll of the dice, what we're going to get in Ocean City this time of year. And historically, it's been a little scary. So for us, yeah, we're happy to wake up and see the sun shining, you know, the people flowing. It's just working out nicely.
And if you want to check out all of the cool things at Spring Fest, you still have time, as it will last until Sunday, April 27th. And things to know, an always stop is coming to Georgetown. You can see that location right here on your screen. It's the intersection of Pretty Man Road and Pretty John Road. DelDOT says work to convert the two-way stop into an all-way begins on May 12th at 9 a.m. This includes installing new signs and pavement markings. Work is expected to wrap up at 3 p.m.
With the first pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Cameron Ward, quarterback, Miami.
The NFL Draft continues today. In the first round, we saw Baltimore, Washington, and Philadelphia all add to their rosters. The Ravens, with the 27th pick, chose Malachi Starks as a safety. With the 29th pick, the Washington Commanders chose Josh Connerly as offensive tackle. And the 2025 Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles, traded up to be the 31st pick, switching with Kansas City. The Eagles chose Jahad Campbell as a linebacker. And we are now taking a live look at the Vatican. As you can see this morning, people continue to file past the coffin of Pope Francis inside St. Peter's Basilica. Today is the final day of public viewing ahead of tomorrow's funeral and burial services. NBC's Jay Gray shows us how the solemn ceremonies will be much like the man himself: simple, understated, and focused on the Catholic faith.
Tens of thousands have filed past his simple wooden casket, including the family of Pope Francis, kneeling, emotional during their visit. Thousands more wait in lines that stretch past preparations for his funeral, the beginnings of a stage and altar on the steps of St. Peter's Basilica, video screens for the large crowds expected to spill out of the square during Saturday's service.
It's a special liturgy specifically for the death of a pope. And towards the end, there is known what is known as the commendation and the final farewell, where there'll be a series of prayers over the coffin.
Wishing to be remembered as a shepherd and disciple and not a powerful man of this world, Francis chose to be buried outside of Vatican City at the Basilica of St. Mary Major, the first pope laid to rest there since the 17th century.
I think it's not a mere historical decision. It's much more than that. It speaks about his humility. It's about how much he wants to trust himself to the Immaculate Heart of Mary.
He'll be buried in a nook next to his favorite icon of the Holy Mother, saying in his testament, the tomb should be in the ground, simple, without particular ornamentation, bearing only the inscription, Franciscus. Jay Gray, NBC News, at the Vatican.
Pope Francis called St. Mary Major his favorite Roman Catholic church, visiting after all of his overseas trips and more than 100 times during his 12 years as Pope. And we still have a lot more news to get to this morning on CoastTV News Today. Coming up, more stores at a Seaford shopping center. We'll show you the progress of the city's Nylon Shopping Center. And Worcester County makes history. We'll tell you all about its new public schools superintendent. And no more Nintendos. We'll tell you why no obstacle proved too big for the sales for the company's Switch 2. All that and more as Coast TV News Today continues.
6:12 on our chilly Friday morning. FH Fur Cam in Cambridge. Look at the water, just absolute glass. Calm conditions in Cambridge, 48 degrees, and we're in the 40s elsewhere. Mid to upper 40s inland areas, even 50 in Milford, and mid 50s from Lewis down to Ocean City right now as the winds are light, but they'll be coming out of the south, and we're going to warm up today. Just seeing some high wispy clouds with high pressure hanging on, so a good looking day. There is rain back to our west, but that rain not moving in until late tonight. What size coffee? Well, this is no big surprise for me, an extra large, little blooper cream. It's a chilly morning. You need that extra oomph with the large coffee. So 78 degrees, breezy and mild as we go through the rest of the afternoon.
Thank you, Bob. If you have prescriptions you no longer have use for, this Saturday, April 26th, locations all across Delmarva are participating in National Drug Take-Back Day. This includes the Milton Police Department, the Rehoboth Beach Police Department, and Maryland State Police Barracks in Salisbury and Berlin. Each location says people can drop off unneeded medications from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And new this morning, Salisbury will host a budget workshop next week for locals to learn more about the fiscal year 2026. According to officials, there will be a discussion on the budget as well as an overview of the fee schedule. This is set to take place Monday, April 28th at 5:30, and it will be located at the government office building. And the price of Nintendo's upcoming console had a lot of people upset, but that doesn't seem to have slowed down sales. Pre-orders for Nintendo's Switch 2 went live Thursday, and already retailers including Best Buy, GameStop, Walmart, and Target are sold out. The $450 console hit shelves June 5th, and it's not known how many will be available to purchase for people who didn't pre-order. And according to the Bureau of Economic Analysis, the Golden State's gross domestic product reached $4.1 billion last year. That means it surpassed Japan to become the fourth largest economy in the entire world. Only the U.S. as a whole, China and Germany have bigger economies.
And we're seeing a gorgeous sunrise right now on the Tyndall's Casual Furniture Cam and Laurel. Some high wispy clouds. Otherwise, we're looking at a beautiful end to the week. However, the weekend ends a little soggy for Delmarva, but then improving conditions as we go into your Sunday and a little cooler. So we salvage the second half of the weekend. I'll have your complete forecast details coming up in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
The time is now 6:17, and we are taking a live look outside at Laurel this morning. Bob, it's a cool start to our Friday, but that sunrise coming up, that is a good sign that temperatures will warm up. We have that DSN Expo starting this afternoon and Saturday, and people attending might be curious, what do they wear to the Expo?
Yeah, well, Alicia, we're going to need an array of outfits for the DSN Outdoors Expo. Now, today, you want to dress for warm and dry weather. Tomorrow, dress for mild weather, but also be prepared for some raindrops as well. So it kicks off in the fairgrounds in Harrington today at 3 p.m., the DSN Outdoors Expo. Mild, some high clouds, upper 70s. Make sure you're hydrated with water, have the sunscreen too. We're in the 70s right through the evening hours and staying dry with a southeast breeze, and then cooling into the 60s at 8 p.m. Then we move into tomorrow, and here's where the weather goes downhill a little bit. We're looking at scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, especially into the afternoon, but it does remain mild. Lower 70s late morning and then upper 70s into mid-afternoon as the expo kicks off at 10 a.m. So just make sure you have your raincoat, as there are a lot of activities indoors as well. Temperatures now 40s to around 50 degrees, but mainly 40s inland. Millsboro 46, the same for Laurel. Bridgeville 48, 55 in Rehoboth right now. Indian River Inlet 55 as we have a light southerly breeze, and we're looking at those high wispy clouds. We just saw that on the camera out of Laurel, the high cirrus clouds floating through. Otherwise, a good-looking day. High pressure still hanging on, but it's beginning to slide offshore. We'll get into a milder flow around that high, and you see rain back to our west. Nothing really organized here. Showers from the Ohio Valley into the Tennessee Valley, and eventually the clouds will increase tonight, and some of those showers build in on Saturday as a stronger system back to the west will push a cold front through as we go through later tomorrow. But we're in good shape today with future forecast showing 50s out the door early on this morning. By mid-morning, more of those high cirrus clouds, and once again, some high clouds, filtered sunshine at noon. 70s inland, 50s and 60s at the coast. And then by 2:30, you could be seeing 80 degrees in Seaford with temperatures well into the 70s from Millsboro to Ellendale. But at the coast, we're in the 50s to lower 60s. I think a little warmer than these readings, around 70 in Lewis. And then heading out this evening, we're looking at 50s and 60s at the beaches, milder inland areas, as we will start to increase the clouds overnight and also pick up the southerly winds too. Temperatures in the 60s tomorrow morning. Could see some showers as early as 4:30 and then some hit and miss showers as we go through the morning hours. By 11 a.m. we're seeing the showers, so you're seeing how they're hit and miss. It's not a solid shield of rain. We can in fact see some breaks in the clouds in the afternoon with a few showers, and then by 5:30 maybe getting a big patch of blue, and that could destabilize the atmosphere ahead of a line of showers and possible thunderstorms as we go into tomorrow evening. So maybe have the CoastTV weather app handy just in case for heavy rain, vivid lightning, but not expecting anything in the way of severe weather. And then it's a cooler flow after that with clearing skies, 40s in the morning on Sunday, but then windy and cooler with highs only into the 60s in the afternoon. As far as the rain with this front, about a 1/10 to maybe 2/10 of an inch of rain, not a lot. And then we have a dome of high pressure in place Sunday through Tuesday, bringing blue skies, sunshine, and temperatures in the 70s and 80s. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, upper 70s today and tomorrow. Dry today and then those showers tomorrow with a chance of some thunderstorms into the evening hours. Getting chilly Sunday and Monday morning with temperatures into the 40s. 68 on Sunday, warming up into early next week. By Tuesday, close to 80, mostly sunny, and then 84 on Wednesday with some showers, and then cooler and drier into Thursday.
Thank you, Bob. Worcester County Public Schools makes history as it announces its new leader. Her name is Dr. Annette Wallace, and Thursday she was named the next superintendent of Worcester County Schools. She is the first female to ever hold the job, and Wallace is definitely a veteran. She has 22 years with Worcester County Schools and currently is the high school level chief safety and academic officer.
I want every student to stay on grade level when it comes to reading and math, and when our students get to high school, I want every student to be college and career ready by grade 10. And then readiness is extremely important to me, but career readiness is equally as important.
Dr. Wallace is a lifelong resident of Worcester County and graduated from WCPS. She replaces Lou Taylor, who's retiring after 41 years with the district. And more to come this morning. More stores at a Seaford shopping center. We'll tell you what you can expect at the Nylon Shopping Center. Don't go anywhere. A once rundown shopping center is coming back to life one business at a time in Sussex County. Community Bank Delaware has now opened a new Seaford branch at the Nylon Capital Center. It's the first tenant to move in and operate there. The rest of that center is still a work in progress as crews work to clear debris and restore buildings. The Seaford officials say it is still on track to be completed next year.
We're glad to have Community Bank be part of our community, but we're even more excited to see this first tenant actually here. I mean, as we know, the project itself, since the announcement, has taken some time, but that's with anything, all the processes, the procedures, permits, all the stuff that you just don't see anything happening.
And city officials say Behavioral Therapy Center for Children with Autism is next on the list to move in and open in that Seaford Center. And today and Saturday, head on over to the Harrington Fairgrounds for the DSN Outdoors Expo. Today it runs from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. and on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And Bob, I was outside on Thursday after work. It was beautiful. People were walking their dogs. Looks like this afternoon might be just as pleasant.
I think just as pleasant, if not more pleasant, Elisa. In fact, yeah, I think we're a little warmer as we go into the afternoon. But there is a little catch because it's going to be a little cooler at the beaches. That's always the case, isn't it? You're only looking at lower 60s in Chincoteague today. By later this afternoon, could see a little fog rolling in. And then Assateague, you're only in the low 60s, so quite a bit cooler at the coast. That water is still really cold in the Atlantic. Fenwick Island and Ocean City, mid-60s in Fenwick Island today, lower 60s in Ocean City. Waves around 1 to 3 feet. And then on the bay side, you're dry today and mild, but showers on Saturday for Cambridge, 79, and then you're cooling to 68 on Sunday. A little cooler in Crisfield, lower 70s today, showers tomorrow, but then sunshine on Sunday, so not a total washout for the weekend. More in your forecast coming up in the next half hour.
Thank you, Bob. And parades, festivals, and flower petals, we've got your Delmarva weekend plans covered from the Ocean City Inlet to the Delaware State Fairgrounds. Coast TV reporter and anchor Christina DeRobertis has your cool things to do.
It's time to welcome warmer weather, and you can do that at SpringFest in Ocean City all weekend long. Live music, art, and delicious food are all part of the weekend-long celebration at the OC Inlet. The Bug and Bud Festival is back in Milford from 9 to 4 Saturday. This year's festival promises a day of entertainment, local vendors, food trucks, and the People and Pet Parade. Fort Miles Museum in Cape Henlopen State Park celebrates Defense Day Saturday with historical reenactments and firing demonstrations. Also on Saturday, Sussex County Libraries bring the Beachside Book Festival to the Rehoboth Beach Convention Center. And an annual tradition is back in Lewis Saturday morning, the Tulip Dig. It begins at 8 a.m. sharp at 27 gardens around the city. Participants should bring gloves and bags, get your tulips, and bring them home. And the DSN Expo continues Saturday from 10 to 4 at the Delaware State Fairgrounds in Harrington. It goes rain or shine. It's a free family-friendly event and your one-stop shop for everything outdoor. You can find all the details on CoastTV.com under Cool Things to Do. For Coast TV News, I'm Christina DeRobertis.
Now on Coast TV News.
Teen charged in massive wildfire, what we're learning about the Garden State blaze. Parking price debate talks continue in Fenwick Island as the start of the paid parking season is right around the corner. SpringFest in full swing, a look at day one of the festivities in Ocean City and the dollars it brings in for vendors.
The weekend's on a dry and mild note for Delmarva, then showers likely for Saturday, improving conditions Sunday and cooler. Complete forecast details coming up.
This is Coast TV News Today.
Good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. Matt Pensick has the day off. It is 6:30 on this Friday morning, and we're going to bring in First Alert meteorologist Bob Trahey to tell us about our forecast. But Bob, this week so far, it's been excellent weather-wise.
Yeah, Elisa, it's been fantastic. Good morning to you. Good morning, Delmarva. Yeah, I mean, it's been really nice, and it gets even nicer today, but it's starting off chilly. Not as cold as yesterday morning, but we're in the 40s, 44 Gumboro, Millsboro, waking up to 46, 45 in Salisbury. So you see all the 40s inland areas, 50s at the coast, 55 in Lewis, Rehoboth, and Indian River Inlet, Ocean City at 57. Winds are calm or very light from the south right now, and that's telling us that from that direction, we're looking at a warm-up for today. Right now, we just have some high wispy cirrus clouds moving through, making for a beautiful sunrise, and high pressure still hanging on with one more nice day with mostly sunny skies. Then we are watching showers back to the west, kind of disorganized right now, and they'll be moving in as we go into tomorrow. But we're looking good today. A chilly start with 40s and 50s by mid-morning, mid-60s, and then we're shooting up into the mid to upper 70s away from the coast around 12:30, 50s and 60s at the beaches. By mid-afternoon, I think they're a little warmer than these 50s you're seeing in Fenwick Island up to Dewey Beach. I think lower 60s there, but mid-70s inland, even 80 Seaford, 79 Salisbury, maybe a little cooler down towards Berlin. And then this evening, some fog could roll in along the coast, maybe even a little drizzle. So make sure you bundle up. It's going to be a little cooler there. And cool for the kiddos off to the bus stop in Maryland. They're in school, not Sussex County. They go back next week. 50 off to school, dry and chilly. And then heading home, pretty nice, 77, dry and mild.
Thank you, Bob. Today marks 4 years since Delmar Police Corporal Heacook was killed in the line of duty. It happened while he was responding to a fight in progress. Heacook was beaten and then taken to a shock trauma center in Baltimore with significant head injuries. Ultimately, he was taken off of life support. The man convicted of killing him, Randon Wilkerson, was sentenced to multiple life sentences in 2023. It's important to note that the Delaware Supreme Court has denied an appeal for Wilkerson. Now Heacook Fest is held in April every year to honor the life of the fallen officer. Heacook Fest features live music, fun activities, and raises money for nonprofits, Operation We Care, and Behind the Lines. It takes place today at 5 p.m. in Delmar. And happening today in Fenwick Island, discussion and possible action on parking rates in the town. This is taking place at this morning's town council meeting. According to the agenda, officials will review hourly and daily rates. The Finance Committee has been discussing a proposal to decrease their seasonal pass prices for certain businesses. This is to help employees park closer to where they work. Council members will gather at 11 a.m. And town officials will also gather in Bethany Beach according to the agenda. A vote to approve the purchase of a new vehicle for the police department could take place. Also, officials are considering allowing exercise classes on the beach during the summer season. And there will be a special election held on May 24th. Voters will decide whether or not to borrow money for the construction of a new water clarifier. And this is the 34th year of Spring Fest, bringing hundreds of people to Ocean City. Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zappe shows us all the fun you can find inside.
Music, foods, vendors, and thousands of people here at the 34th Annual Spring Fest in Ocean City. And Dave Cornelison and his family are loving every second.
The favorite part is all the different crafters. Of course, my wife loves it. Yes. And my sister-in-law and husband, we always come together.
On Thursday, Springfest opened its doors for free in Ocean City. Inside, you can find hundreds of different and unique items to buy, like wind chimes, jewelry, clothing, and even custom-made fishing rods and pens. Owner George Newberger started works of art after the passing of his uncle, putting his ashes inside his fishing rod, something Newberger now does for others who enjoyed fishing with their loved ones.
So this is my Uncle Joe. And he would take me fishing when I was a kid. Unfortunately, Uncle Joe passed away. But whenever I take this rod fishing, I'm still fishing with my Uncle Joe.
After shopping around, you can enjoy all the savory foods Springfest has to offer, from the classic funnel cake to homemade jelly and jams. After grabbing a bite, it's time to dance your way to one of the two stages in Springfest, one inside and another on the outside. All this fun along the coast has thousands of people wanting to take part, which brings more revenue to Ocean City.
Got to bring in good money. Good for the economy, good for the city. It's a wonderful time.
If you want to check out all the cool things here at Springfest, you still have time, with Springfest having their last day, April 27th on Sunday. I'm Kevin Zappe in Ocean City, Coast TV News.
New this morning, Delawareans who wish to work with marijuana now have to undergo background checks. This after Governor Matt Meyer has signed House Bill 110 into law. According to the bill, this includes people who want to work in, own, or help operate a licensed marijuana business. Governor Meyer says the new law, Delaware will align it with federal standards. And happening today in Dewey Beach, an expected groundbreaking for the town's new council building. Officials say that new building will be 3 stories with 3 different departments on each floor, including Dewey's police force, Sussex County EMS, and all of the town's meetings. It will be just feet away from the current town hall, and the EMS garage will fill the old town hall location. Dewey says between the state and county, they are getting $5 million in grants, and the town has over $2 million in reserves, which will go towards that project. And we are now taking a live look at the Vatican. As you can see this morning, people continue to file past the coffin of Pope Francis inside St. Peter's Basilica. Today is the final day of public viewing ahead of tomorrow's funeral and burial services. Tens of thousands have filed past his simple wooden casket, including the family of Pope Francis, kneeling and emotional during their visit. Wishing to be remembered as a shepherd and disciple and not a powerful man of this world, Francis chose to be buried outside of Vatican City at the Basilica of St. Mary Major. He's the first pope laid to rest there since the 17th century. He'll be buried in a nook next to his favorite icon, the Blessed Mother.
I think it's not a mere historical decision. It's much more than that. It speaks about his humility, about how much he wants to trust himself to the Immaculate Heart of Mary.
Pope Francis called St. Mary Major his favorite Catholic church, visiting after all of his overseas trips and more than 100 times during his 12 years as Pope. And we have a lot more news to get to. Don't go anywhere. Coming up, Dover debates business help. We'll tell you what the city is considering as its downtown area currently undergoes major revitalization projects. And round 1 of the NFL draft ended last night. Meet the newest member of your 3 local teams. In Bay Bridge Better's Environment, we'll tell you how officials say some parts of that bridge will contribute to marine life. Coast TV News Today will be right back.
6:40 on our Friday morning as we're looking at our tunnel and razor cam and Lewis, seeing the high wispy clouds, a beautiful sunrise, beautiful day on the way, just a chilly start. We've got mid to upper 40s inland areas and 50s from Lewis down to Ocean City right now. Winds are light, but they're coming in out of the south eventually, and we're looking at a warm day. We're looking at mid to high level clouds right now, so it's one more dry day before the rain builds in, and the rain is building in back to our west, and that'll be building in as we go into tomorrow. Today's checklist: don't need the umbrella and raincoat today. Do need the windbreaker and the sunscreen. That sun getting stronger and stronger. Shorts and t-shirts definitely in order for this afternoon as we're warming into the 70s. And make sure you have your sunglasses too. And congratulations to Gwen Davis. She doesn't need her umbrella today, but she just won a new one. She's from Selbyville, and she has a new umbrella courtesy of Paul Davis and CoastTV.
Bob, today is Arbor Day, and Ocean City is celebrating by planting trees throughout town. The Town Beautification Committee will continue this tradition with its Tree Amendus program. The event begins with a presentation from the Color Guard. Then students from the Ocean City Elementary School will present poems and skits before getting to work. This takes place at the school at 9:30 a.m. And parts of the Bay Bridge are being sent away. The Maryland Transportation Authority says 145,000 square feet of that bridge deck panels are being sent to an artificial reef site. The agency says the parts from the east side of the bridge will help create a sanctuary for marine life. The agency also says it has planted 12 million live oysters in advance to advance the state's clean water goals.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Yes, the first round of the NFL draft is in the rear view. And if you didn't stay up past 11, here's what you missed from your local favorites. Georgia's Malachi Starks is coming to the Ravens. The All-SEC safety was Pro Football Focus's top player at his position. Now he gets to pair up with Kyle Hamilton and fill a big hole for Baltimore in the secondary. Over to Washington, more protection for Jaden Daniels. The Commanders went with Josh Connerly Jr. with the 29th pick. Connerly is a 6'5", 315-pound offensive tackle. He was a first-team All-American this past season and helped the Ducks pave their way to an undefeated regular season and a Big Ten title. And Howie Roseman and the Eagles went more defense. The defending Super Bowl champs traded up with the Chiefs to 31 and took Jahad Campbell from Alabama. Campbell grew up just outside of Philadelphia in South Jersey. He was a first-team All-SEC linebacker with the Tide. In return, the Eagles send pick number 32 and 164 to Kansas City. Here on Delmarva tonight, we've got Caesar Rodney girls lacrosse against Stephen Decatur. The Riders are rolling this season. The Camden Crew is 8-1 on the year, but their only loss did come to another Bayside school in Queen Anne's County. On the other side, Decatur tries to bounce back from a loss to the Lady Lions. The Seahawks are listed at 4-4 this season. Our coverage tonight begins at 5:25. That'll do for sports.
And coming up tonight on DSN, your game of the night at 5:30, Stephen Decatur takes on Caesar Rodney in girls lacrosse. Then it's the final score at 10:30. And on the DSN Plus app, along with that game of the night, here's your daily exclusives. At 11 a.m., Polytech faces the Charter School of Wilmington in baseball. At 4 p.m., St. Michael's plays Pocomoke in softball. 4:15, Lake Forest hosts Odessa in baseball. And at 5:30, Caesar Rodney is at Stephen Decatur in boys lacrosse. And today in entertainment news, a big movie preview and a trio of honors. David Daniel has the details in our Hollywood Minute.
In the 1600s, 6 artists hit a clue in their paintings.
Dad spent most of his life searching for it. What do you expect to get from the fountain?
I want Dad to get his recognition.
The game is afoot in the latest trailer for Fountain of Youth. John Krasinski and Natalie Portman lead the cast of the global adventure film from director Guy Ritchie. Fountain of Youth premieres May 23rd on Apple TV+.
Gladys Knight is going to be on the stage.
It's time for Clive Davis to take the stage. The iconic music producer and executive is set to receive the Legacy Award at New York's historic The Apollo Theater's Spring Benefit. Singer, songwriter, actor, and director Teyana Taylor will receive the Innovator Award at the benefit June 4th.
I was an art school student.
Harvey Fierstein has come a long way. He's won 4 Tony Awards, and now he'll receive a special Tony for Lifetime Achievement in the Theater. The actor and writer, best known for Torch Song Trilogy, La Cage aux Folles, Hairspray, and Kinky Boots, will be honored at the 78th Annual Tony Awards June 8th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
If you're having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from CoastTV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for free at coasttv.com and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday. And here's what's coming up this afternoon today on Coast Life at 4.
We hope you're gearing up to enjoy your weekend, but on Coast Life, we've got some more fun to get to before that. Let's see what's coming up today on the show. We know that Spring Fest in Ocean City kicked off yesterday, but we've got the behind the scenes of all the things that make it so great for you today.
Plus, we're going to be horsing around with Delmarva Therapeutic Riding. They've got a Kentucky Derby party coming up.
And more animals. We've also got our pet of the week, our sweet little gentleman to introduce you to. All that fun is coming up at 4 today on Coast Life. We'll see you there.
A beautiful start to our Friday. Here's the FH Fur Cam in Cambridge. Clear skies, calm water. It's chilly, but a mild end to the week. And then a soggy start to the weekend for Saturday, but improving conditions on Sunday and a little cooler. I'll have your forecast details coming up in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
The time is now 6:48 and we are taking a live look outside at Rehoboth Beach this morning. And Bob, that is a beautiful shot of the sunrise. Seems like a good day to walk on the boardwalk, but that pollen, we're going to talk about it in a second. It's my biggest enemy during the springtime, so if I go outside, I have to brace myself.
You do, Elisa. I think I heard you saying it's your arch enemy. Yeah, no, and you're not alone. I mean, we are looking at high levels of tree pollen out there. We've got the dandelion seeds flying all over the place. So high levels of pollen, oak, ash, birch, and maple. And when it's dry and breezy, it just gets kicked up even more. And I know you were talking about native honey helping with allergies. So that could be the elixir to help with your allergies. Today, sunny, dry, and mild. Increasing clouds late. Scattered showers, a little rumble of thunder, I think, into Saturday evening. So keep that in mind. And then Sunday's breezy, sunny, and seasonable. Cool out the door this morning with mid to upper 40s right now. 48 Seaford, 47 Georgetown, Millsboro 46, but 50s from Lewis down to Ocean City as the winds are calm right now, but the tendency is out of the south. We've got high pressure sliding away. One more really nice day with just filtered sunshine and temperatures that are above average. Then we're looking at some showers back to our west. Nothing really organized through the Ohio and Tennessee valleys, but eventually a front with low pressure farther to the west will swing in tomorrow, increasing our rain chances. But we're in good shape today. A chilly start, high clouds from time to time, mid-morning in the 60s, mid-70s by noon. But at the beaches, it's going to be cooler with 50s and 60s there. But it could be up to 80 in Seaford at 2:30 and 76 in Millsboro. But this evening, with an onshore flow, watch for some fog, maybe a little drizzle, and kind of cooler at the coast. And those clouds work in as we go through the overnight hours. With temperatures remaining in the 60s, we could start to see some showers building in around 4:30 tomorrow morning. It's breezy and mild. Won't be raining all day tomorrow, but we'll be looking at those hit and miss showers and some peaks of sun that I think will get our temperatures into the upper 70s. And if we get enough sun, that could destabilize the atmosphere and fire up some showers and some storms along the front, maybe some brief heavy rain, vivid lightning into Saturday evening, so keep that in mind. Then that system slides offshore. It's breezy and cooler into Sunday with highs only into the mid to upper 60s, even cooler into Sunday evening. And we could see maybe a 10 to about 2/10 of an inch of rain, maybe up to a 1/4 inch with this system moving in tomorrow. And then Sunday through Tuesday, sunshine, blue skies, highs in the 70s and 80s, and feeling like summer again by the middle part of next week. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, upper 70s today and tomorrow. Showers tomorrow, not a complete washout. Watch for some thunder too. And then turning colder Sunday and Monday morning with lows in the 40s, 68 on Sunday, warming up from the lower 70s Monday to 84 by Wednesday with a chance of showers.
Thank you, Bob. As downtown Dover prepares for major revitalization projects, city leaders are focusing on supporting the businesses already in place. Officials are considering a relief fund to help businesses manage rising utility costs. The proposed fund, capped at $75,000, would provide utility credits to businesses affected by the construction.
The idea behind this is not to overburden and possibly lose the businesses that we have in order to try to gain more.
This proposal heads to the floor to be discussed and voted on by the whole council on Tuesday. And the time is now 6:52, and we are going to check in with our coastal pet of the day. And today's coastal pet of the day is coming to us from the Brandywine Valley SPCA. On your screen right now is Sunday. Sunday is shy at first, but warms up once she gets to know you. She loves to go on walks and soak up the sunshine. And if you want to adopt Sunday or Gideon, who we showed you in the last hour, or any other lovable pet, you can head to the Brandywine Valley SPCA. And of course, we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen, scan that QR code at the top of your screen, and then submit your furry friend to CoastTV News. Then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all of the pets we feature. It is 6:55, and it's time for the things you need to know before you go. Happening now, this year's Spring Fest is open for business in Ocean City. The large crowds of people mean one thing for many of the food vendors: long lines and hungry customers. This leads to plenty of action in front of the grill. And one food truck owner says the popularity, the good weather, and live music creates the perfect combination for a busy and successful day. If you want to check out all of the cool things at Springfest, it will go until Sunday, April 27th. And an update on the devastating wildfire in New Jersey. A teenager is accused of starting that wildfire that has scorched more than 15,000 acres. Jason Kling is charged with arson, and investigators say the 19-year-old set wooden pallets on fire and left the area before those flames were fully out. The Jones Road fire has burned more than 15,000 acres and resulted in roughly 5,000 evacuations. And it is 6:56, so we're going to take another look at your forecast before you head out the door. And Bob, it's been a beautiful week. Friday, according to your forecast, it's looking pretty pleasant. I'm liking what we're seeing.
Yeah, Lisa, it's looking fantastic. And the smoke from the New Jersey fires is actually drifting north now, so we don't have to worry about the smoke or haze from that anymore. We are looking at high clouds as we go through the day, and temperatures starting out chilly in the 50s and then warming into the mid to upper 70s later on. Upper 70s inland, but 60s at the coast. Here's your Paul Davis 10-day forecast. We are going to see showers on Saturday, not an all-day rain, and maybe some thunder as well. Keep that in mind. 79. It does cool down into Sunday. 68. Some cool nights down into the 40s. And then starting out a little cooler Monday, but then warming to 84 by Wednesday with some showers. Looks like maybe another chance of showers by Friday, and then cooler and drier into next weekend.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News today. The Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m., and then we'll be back for Coast TV News midday at 11. And for even more news and coverage you can count on, download our Coast TV News and weather apps. Have a great morning.